Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Megan McCormick, and I'm a student at MIT and Harvard.
My name is Bi Huang. I'm a student from Wharton MBA in Harvard.
And we're representing OZE, the business insights platform in the pocket of every African entrepreneur. This is me in 2012. I was a management consultant turned Peace Corps volunteer sent to Africa with a mandate to improve the economy and a hunch that I could do so if I just helped small businesses perform a little bit better. So I did what any management consultant turned Peace Corps volunteer would do. I got in the bush taxi, I went out to the community, I sat down with the small businesses, and I said, show me your data. And this is what they would show me. So most small businesses in emerging markets, if they're keeping records, are doing so in paper notebooks. So they can't turn data into insights, into actions that drive profits, and they can't take a pile of notebooks to the bank and expect to get a loan. And this is why more small businesses fail than grow. This is a problem that my team is dedicated to solving, and OZE is the solution. OZE is a platform that empowers small business owners to make data-driven decisions. It aggregates and analyzes transaction data to push context-specific recommendations straight to the entrepreneur to improve their performance. Now, OZE is optimized for African markets, where 95% of transactions on the continent are done in cash. In as little as 2 clicks, they can actually record a transaction. They can fill in the details now or wait till later in the day. We'll remind them to fill them in. Now, one of the details that they can fill in is paid, unpaid, or partially paid. In these markets where businesses don't have credit cards or access to working capital, they survive because their suppliers give them payment terms. But then they actually have to turn around and give similarly generous payment terms to their customers. We have a user who gives payment terms on a single pair of flip-flops. With this feature, not only will they be able to collect money faster, but they'll be able to project their cash flows forward and make confident purchasing decisions for the future. Now, OZE provides analytics in 2 ways. The first is through our coaching function, which provides plain language recommendations, alerts, and encouragement. The second is through our dashboard, which helps the entrepreneur begin to infer their own insights from their data. And in 18 months of working with these small businesses, we found that the single piece of information they most wanted to get their hands on was their cash balance. And with OZE, not only can they see where it is today, but see how it's been trending over time. Now, OZE isn't just your typical accounting software or business analytics app. There are 3 things that really set us apart. The first is that all of our data is geotagged, which allows us to paint an economic picture of the activity in a city. This creates incredible network effects, but it also allows us to give very tangible, actionable insights, such as go to this area of your city to get your inputs for less money. The second thing is that OZE is gamified. We use persuasive technology to build habits around using the OZE app. And by helping the users increase the complexity of the app, as the users gain mastery, they actually feel a sense of progress, which is proven to build more habits around using an app. So we start simply with our free version. That's cash in, cash out, I owe them, they owe me, and their dashboards. But when they switch to premium, they can actually start separating multiple accounts. So my main business and my side hustle. They can budget, scenario plan, and goal set. We'll generate their financial statements, and finally, certify them as investment ready. Now, investment ready won't only help bring a lot of users onto the app who are looking to get loans, but it will drive stickiness, because everyone knows that they're working towards this goal of being able to get a loan. And this is possible because our relationship with financial institutions. The entrepreneur, once they're investment ready, will be able to help them figure out how much debt they should take on and then share their financial statements with the banks. And this actually provides a huge benefit for the banks. In these kind of markets where there's low transparency, it's incredibly expensive for banks to actually find good deals that they can invest in and expect the people to be able to pay them back. And then once the loan is made, it's still really expensive to understand how that business is performing. If you remember those paper notebooks, they're driving out and looking at those. We have assembled the dream team to make OZE a reality. So my co-founder Dave and I met in the Peace Corps. My background's innovation strategy. His is data and marketing analytics. After the Peace Corps, together, we launched West Africa's most active accelerator. We've deployed over $250,000 into small businesses in this region and have actually generated over $1 million of earned revenue. Bea leads our finance and brings extensive experience as a VC in Africa. And Ali leads our tech. Ali was born in Burkina Faso, raised in Ghana, and educated in the United States. After 13 years of working as a software developer in the US, he returned to Ghana because Ali, like us, knows that that is where the entrepreneurial opportunity lies. And we have a wonderful team of developers, designers, and customer success associates, as well as institutions who have provided us with financial and in-kind support to make OZE successful. So this summer during our pilot, one of my users said to me, "It feels great to know that you're not alone in the race towards greatness." And this is how we feel, because we know our team is not alone. OZE is built on the foundations of human-centered design, so we've been co-creating with our users since day one. And I want to tell you about two of them. The first is Jermaine, who's holding the camera. Jermaine is a professional photographer and a dog breeder. And he told me, "Megan, I actually don't know which of these two businesses generates the cash that I need to survive. But what I do know is if I want to grow my business, I need to hire a full-time assistant." So naively, I asked him, "Why haven't you?" And he shyly admitted that he doesn't keep records. So he didn't have the confidence to say, "I can pay you this month and next month and the next month." But after 1 month of using OZE, he gained that confidence and he hired that person. The second is Steven, just to his right. Now, Steven manufactures candy-coated peanuts. And he told me that after 4 days of using OZE, he had his aha moment. Free samples are a marketing expense. When he went and bought the peanuts and the sugar and the flour, that was actually the first time he realized that these were costs to his business. And so he started limiting the number of free samples that he gave out. And this did not only lower his costs, but actually grew his top line because he found that the time to go from a potential customer to a paying customer shrunk when they knew they couldn't get unlimited free peanuts. So we're going after this large, untapped small business market by co-creating with them, designing a solution met to their needs. So once we establish ourselves in this market, we're the first ones there and we'll really be able to own it. So to tell you a little bit more about our user, we went in thinking an industry segmentation would be appropriate. But what the data told us is that a behavioral segmentation is much more appropriate. We're targeting users who have in the past or are currently keeping some sort of records on paper. And in terms of transactions, we haven't found our ceiling yet, but we know that less than 12 transactions a week isn't quite enough data for us to give valuable insights. And we believe that our business model is the ideal type of business model because our social impact reinforces our profit. We give free access to the app because we want small businesses to improve, but that gives us something massively valuable in return, which is their data. We can monetize this to third parties, but also use it to improve our algorithms so that we increase the quality of our recommendations, and so our businesses perform better. By the time they're ready to convert to premium, they won't see it as a cost, but simply in sharing in some of the upside with OZE that we have helped create.
So now we're talking about the African market, a blue ocean just like China 40 years ago. So this is the number of small and medium enterprises in sub-Saharan Africa today. 140 million this year, growing to 180 million in 5 years. This is not including informal market, which at least double the size. So this bright pink here you see is Ghana, where we launched our business. Ghana is expected to be the fastest growing economy in the world, according to World Bank. With 8.3% CAGR, the number of SMEs in Ghana will double in size in 9 years. And this is also a great test market for us to enter Nigeria, which is the green part. These two countries combined is already larger than the SME market in the US today. So shortly put, this is a vast under-tapped market. So is this market ready to take off? Here's some flavors about Ghana. People in Ghana are crazy about cell phones. There are 140 mobile subscriptions per 100 people, and the overall mobile penetration is 67%. And that number is a lot higher among small and medium enterprise owners. In fact, among the several hundreds of small and medium enterprise owners we encountered, we've never met a single one of them who doesn't have a smartphone. And this number is yet to grow. On the continent level, we see the mobile data traffic expected to grow at 66% CAGR. And in the end of 2020, we will see 500 million mobile phone users in this continent. And just last week, MTN, the largest telecom provider in Ghana, just announced that they will enable users to pay for app and pay within app using mobile money. And then just a bit more flavor of Ghana. When our team is on the ground of Ghana, we took Uber to department store. We can use mobile phone to order food in and watch Netflix. And we work too. Simply put, this market is ready to take off. And how much is our user willing to pay for us? According to our interviews and surveys, our user willing to pay is as high as $250 per month. They basically think we can replace a full-time accountant for them. But as you can see, we're charging at the lower end to capture the vast market as fast as possible. But at the same time, we're also working with Wharton Consumer Analytics Initiative to put on a more robust conjoint analysis to understand how we can better capture the value we create. So we are very confident that we can at least double our price shortly. So combining these three factors, we are looking at an $11 billion market this year, growing into at least $60 to $100 billion market in 2020, driven by the growing number of companies, mobile penetration, and willingness to pay. So we are asking for a half a million investment to reach our next step of milestone within 18 months. We're expecting to acquire around 100,000 free users. So a typical user journey looks like this. A user starts to use this app free and realize the value of OZE and start to pay $2 a month for more advanced features. And this 7% conversion rate we use is vastly understated. We are being very conservative here. We don't want to overpromise. But as these users grow, they will convert into multiple accounts users. During our pilot, we already seen 2 out of 26 users start to add new employees within as short as 1 month. So we're very confident at least 30% of the single user will advance to multiple users. And then when they become more investment ready, when they have more data on the platform, we will push these, we will make this database available for banks, for institutions. And this is where OZE Enterprise come into the picture. We do expect at the end of 18 months, we will see around 24 banks start to paying us averagely $800 a year. This is just a starting point of OZE-centered ecosystem. By tapping onto this vast population of small, medium enterprise users, we will become a very attractive acquisition target for technology companies like Intuit or financial institutions like Barclays. Why are we so confident about these assumptions? Based on a very short Facebook marketing campaign, we are able to, within 10 days, we're able to beat the market benchmark of 5 to 30 times. During that 10 days, there are 1,100 people clicked to download OZE and are thus to be put on the wait list for our beta version.
And we know that we cannot just rely on our expertise in digital marketing to capture this market. If we want to fail across the continent and fast, we need strategic partnerships. And that's why we're excited, especially about 2 of them. The first is with the National Board of Small-Scale Industries, think the SBA, who has said that they are very excited to distribute OZE through all 175 of their business advisory centers, giving us national reach as soon as we're ready. On the financial institution side, Fidelity Bank, one of the most trusted brands not only in Ghana but also in Nigeria, has verbally committed to piloting the relationship between financial institutions and entrepreneurs with us. Now, I know I've talked a lot about where OZE is today, what our core function is, what we're going to do. But OZE is really a platform play. As we build this valuable database, we can layer different services on top of it, like tax or CRM, but also open up our API to be part of the ecosystem for other technology companies to build on our platform, so that we become the go-to places for small businesses in Africa. And this is possible because there are no legacy systems in Africa. We will become the system. And none of this matters if we can't nail our first product, so I'm happy to say that OZE is in beta and getting user feedback. Now, before we close, I really want to take it back to what matters. This is Kobe. Kobe is one of our first users. He came to us during the pilot. And then after the pilot, I took the app away from him to make it a little bit better. This January, I went back to test the new UI, and he hadn't seen the app in months. When he logged into the app and the blue light of the login screen shone on his face, he sighed and said, "Oh, how I've missed you." Now, although Kobe has been a barber for more than 3 years, he sees the 1 month that he used OZE as the golden era of his business. If we can create this type of brand affinity with small businesses across the continent, think about how valuable the company can be. Imagine what would happen. We're also, at the same time, empowering small businesses to use data and technology to usher in themselves the golden era of development in Africa. Madase.
Thank you.